Hi guys, Alan here in the shed. Well, this is a bit of a subdued story I've got to tell you. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for all the messages and get well messages and private emails, messages and everything. And I mean, there's hundreds, there literally has been hundreds from all around the world, which I'm truly humbled, and the wife is as well. And what this story is about is me and the wife got COVID. Now, COVID attacks people in different ways, okay? Now, if I go back five or 6 weeks, the daughter caught COVID, and it was like a heavy flu stroke cold. Yes, she got tested, she got proved that she had COVID. So her and the grandson stopped at their house and got over it. Then they got the all clear. The grandson went back to school and the daughter went back to work. A week and a half later, the grandson was sent home from school coughing and sneezing. So we never thought much of it at the time, because he does suffer from a few allergies. You know, during the summer he smells wet grass and he's sneezing, you know. So it wasn't unusual for him to cough and sneeze. So the daughter dropped him off with us. He stopped with us for that afternoon. This is on a Wednesday afternoon now, and she went back to work. He didn't improve on the Thursday, which he's now at home. The daughter got him tested on the Friday, and it showed up he was positive with COVID, and he's only 11. But to him it was like a severe cold. Now, on the Friday, we were supposed to go to Milton Keynes. We were stopping over on the Friday night and the Saturday night at the Milton Keynes show. Because the grandson showed up positive, we couldn't go. Because me and the wife looked at each other and we just said, we're in the shit. So, with a few phone calls and whatever, everything got cancelled by other tickets, and we didn't lose too much money on it. It was just the price of the tickets. But there was 4 of us going. Me, the wife, the grandson and the granddaughter. So I paid that to that weekend. And I must thank everybody at the show, especially John Warner and Peter Dixon, Roberts, and all the others was in that little group saying thank you to me, get well. And I believe Susanna didn't make it and Graham didn't make it through other reasons. But on the Saturday morning, while all you guys were at the show, me and the wife had breakfast, and that was the last time we ate till the following Friday. I'm not joking. We never ate. Our appetite was absolutely zero. Never even crossed your mind, not even the back of your mind, we must eat. We just stayed in bed. A pair of us. Couldn't move. Absolutely zapped. Now, we didn't have coughs and we didn't have sneezes and what have you. We were just completely zapped. And both of us had severe pains. Mine were in my thighs and my legs, mostly my legs. And it felt like I had a lump of wood up against my bone, and there's a leprechaun in there hitting it with a goddamn hammer. Oh, the pains were horrendous. Absolutely horrendous pains. Nobody ever said that on TV or whatever. Never heard that before. Anyway, I'll move on to that a bit more. So, come the Wednesday of that week, we looked at each other and we said, look, we've got to eat and drink or do something. All I was drinking was lemonade. And that brings me to a little bit. We'd lost our smell and taste. I was drinking lemonade to keep your mouth moist because you were getting a dry mouth. And the wife was drinking water or cranberry juice or whatever. All stuffed by the bed, piles of it, you know. There's nobody that can come and see you. There's nobody can look after you because you've got COVID. They can't take the risk of getting it themselves. So me and the wife were on our own. Anyway, come the Wednesday, we said, look, we got to eat something. So we managed to get down to the kitchen. And I made a cup of tea and a round of toast. We did it for the wife. I took one bite of the toast. Oh my God. It tasted like cold chewing gum. I literally threw it to the birds after. Couldn't. Oh, it was terrible. So I had a sip of my tea. Oh, that tasted like dishwater. Absolutely horrendous. That went down the sink. The wife said exactly the same. And like I said, with just no appetite whatsoever. And because you've got no taste and smell, you can't get excited about anything because you can't smell or taste. It's a really weird feeling not to have taste and smell. And while we were laid up in the bed from Saturday to the Wednesday, if you wanted to go to the bathroom, it took you 10 minutes to build up the courage to get out of bed to get there and plan your route. You won't, until you experience it, you won't believe it. But it took you 5 minutes to get to the edge of the bed to stand up. This is how weak you are. And then you shuffled your way to the bathroom, which is only like 10 or 12 feet away. But it was like a major hike. And then once you got back, you just collapsed with exhaustion. It's all right while you're lying in bed or you're watching YouTube or the TV, take your mind off it, but that's as far as you can get. So, on the following Friday now, this is a week later, we actually got up and ate something. Wasn't nice. She made some porridge for herself. She only ate half of it. And I had a cup of tea and a round of toast. I managed to get that down. And then Saturday it was a slight improvement. The wife wanted to get up and she was beginning to move around, okay. Same on the Sunday. And we were up and I thought, whoa, we're doing good here. We're on the mend. Until the Monday morning. On the Monday morning, she got up, had a cup of tea, sat down in the settee, and I watched her just pass out. She just went all limp like that and just gone. Panic didn't set in, shock set in. So I'm trying to monitor her. Her breathing was okay, but she's totally out of it, totally passed out. While she's sitting on the settee, God knows if she did that going down the stairs. Oh, it's unreal. So in the end, only minutes go by, you know, but it seems like a lifetime at the time. I rang 999 and explained everything, and is she still breathing? I says, yeah, she's breathing, but she's passed out. And she's starting to come out of it slowly. So we'll see what we can do, she said. Can't promise you anything. Anyway, after a few more phone calls, them checking on me ringing them, the paramedics turned up 5 hours after the first phone call. Okay? Now, you can't blame the NHS, you can't do anything. It's not a direct science, everything's not perfect. You've just got to be in the queue. And this is the way things are today. You're in the queue. You're in the queue for everything. Right, so the paramedics go to see you. It's quite funny, this part. And they check it all out. And they did the stethoscope, and they did a blood test and the oxygen levels and what have you. Listened to her lungs. And she has got a bit of crackling in one lung, which is understandable when you think about it. It's lying in bed for a week. But because oxygen levels were at 97, it didn't warrant going in hospital. If you were 95 or less, then you would have been at an emergency in the ER. Because she was breathing okay, she was eating and drinking up to that point, and her oxygen levels were at 97, it didn't warrant going in hospital. And to me, I was quite relieved that she didn't have to go. Because I don't know what you're like in your county or part of the country. Once you go in hospital, you don't tend to come out. Not when you have COVID. They don't tell me, they never tell you about the ones that walk out, do they? They always tell you the ones that go out in a box. The statistics and the stats and all that. Anyway, she didn't have to go. So, while talking to the paramedics, and we're going through different scenarios and what this, that and the other, and I said, I seem to think I've had it 3 times. So the paramedic that turned around and looked at me, he says, to be honest, you could have. It's not unknown, he said. So I said to him, well, I had it in the January of 2020, before it all kicked off. Yes, you and a few more, he said. We've had quite a few of them, but the doctors didn't know how to cope with it. They thought it was a real bad flu thing. And as we found out now, through research and one thing and another, it was here and there then. Well, I said, I just burned up for 3 days and I got over it. Yeah, but that was the early variant, he said. Well, I said, I'd had it again in the October of 2020. And by that time, I'd had 1 injection. He said, again, I was burning up in bed, but I had what they call long COVID. And I was doing things down here as I've been on camera, and I sort of sat here and put on a brave face and what have you. Christmas Day, I got up for 3 hours, had my Christmas lunch and went back absolutely exhausted. It wasn't until the February that I had my 2nd injection, and then 4 days later it just sort of melted away from me, and I was back to what I was. And then this happened. Now, I'm sitting here, it's took me 10 minutes to get down here. It's alright while I'm sitting here, but I get exhausted easily, and the wife's the same. But at least we're up and about. We're getting up now, one thing and another. All I can say to you people out there, for God's sake, put a mask on. You will get it so simply, I tell you. You'll just forget about something, or well, it's all right going in the shops and driving around with a mask on. It's when you come home, just that little moment, and you'll get it. And the doctors will tell you, and the scientists, everybody will get it. It's guaranteed, that is. It's just when and how. Because that's the way they've come to about it. Now, having the injections stops you going in hospital. It does save you 99% of you going into hospital, and at least you're at home trying to recover in a nice controlled environment. In a hospital, it's got everything in there, hasn't it? All sorts of diseases, so you never know what you're going to end up with. But that's what the only way you're going to get in hospital with COVID is if your blood oxygen level is down 95 or less. Okay? That's what we've been told. All we've been told by the paramedics is stay warm, keep the fluid levels up, and take paracetamol if necessary, because Barbara's struggling with headaches. Blood pressure's okay, one thing or another. So, but we're battling on. We're getting there. It's just going to take longer because of our age. It takes longer to recover. It's very difficult to sit here and tell you all this. So it is, because I've left her now for 10 minutes while I'm talking to you, and it's in the back of my mind. I've got to go back and check on her. Don't mind checking on me, you know. It's and I'm trying to learn how to cook because I've never done it. I'm trying to learn the washing machine. I've never pushed the buttons on it, even the dryer. And she's trying to instruct me on how to do things in the kitchen, which I've never done, because I spent 90% of my life away from home when I was trucking. Yeah, I could survive while I was in the truck. You got away, you did things. But that's why I had a heart attack in the first place. It's a lifestyle. But the money wasn't brilliant till the end. The last year was brilliant, but anyway, that's another story. But I enjoyed my career. It paid the bills. And I couldn't wait to retire in the end. Anyway, that's 10 years now. 10 years since the heart attack. Yeah, 10 years since the heart attack, 3 years since I retired. So, anyway, that's where we're up to at the moment. We're on the mend, but it's going to take a short while. So, I'll keep you posted as best I can. I thought I'd have a bit of retail therapy while I'm doing nothing, basically, because I wanted to go to the show to buy all these little bits, similar to what Peter Dixon did. So what I have done, I'll spin you around momentarily. Can you see that there? I bought myself a rail treatment head, so I'm planning on running that around, because they're on offer. It's at Hatton's at the moment, aren't they? So that was only 150 quid, so I'd save 50 odd quid because of they're on offer. And they didn't come damaged. They're poorly packaged, I thought. Just a bit of bubble wrap around it, but that's how they come. You get the double one and the single one. So I've got the water treatment train, not the sandite, because that's what they use up on the Holyhead line. Just like that, 3 of them. Okay? And I've got some Hunt's couplings. I've ordered a few of them because I need to put Hunt's couplings on different things. Change some couplings. So I'm going to have a play with that. I've got so many things I need to do in here, and because I haven't been down here, it's neglected. It all needs cleaning and dusting, and you know, it's always a constant maintenance. When you're down here, you're always constantly maintaining something. And I see scale model scenery. I've come up with a low relief engine shed, which is very similar to the one I've got, and I'm quite interested in that. I could have to do some measurements. I don't want to move tracks if I can help it, but I'd like to put one of these low relief engine sheds just to fill that corner in a bit better. So there's little projects on the go, you know, in my mind, ready for when I'm ready to do things. So I better leave it at that. So once again, thank you to everybody at Getz that wished me Well, all the private messages I've had, there's too many to name here. I'll be like Jenny Kirk just reading the list, you know. So it's Jenny Kirk's another story, isn't she? So we are both highly humbled over it, and it's very difficult to read some of the stories, one thing or another. But a very, very big thank you. And if things improve the way things are, I should be back on your screens as my old happy self, wrecking something, whatever, building something. You never know, dear. We'll be having some fun. So, once again, thank you. And that's it from me for now. I can't say any more. Cheers, guys. Cheers. It has helped tremendously. Don't worry about it. It has helped. Okay? Bye for now. Bye.